All of my SoFi investors, welcome back to the channel. SoFi announced that they are going to be introducing options trading to their investing platform. This is going to be a game changer for the revenue growth and the new users to SoFi's business. And I want to go over exactly why that is. We have a Motley Fool article to talk about, and I think they break it down quite well. And Motley Fool, if you guys are unaware, they are pretty skeptical of a lot of these startup high growth companies, but they actually like SoFi a lot. So I think that does say something. We are also going to be going over the data that you guys need to know, because regardless of what you hear people say about SoFi stock, if they say they are bearish, well, institutional investors, they're not too bearish. With the positive order value on Friday of 71%. These are large institutional options trades. A lot of these expire very soon and they are far out of the money. So we're going to get into that much more at the end of this video. I have a trade that I want to go over with you guys that could be really good, but as always, none of this is financial advice. But fun fact, only 12% of you guys are subscribed to the channel. So if you have not hit that subscribe button, you definitely want to stay up to date with this information. So thank you guys that went ahead and did that. Like the video as well, just because why not? It's the weekend. You should be happy about the weekend. But let's get into all of this information. So I first want to start off with options trading. So SoFi did announce that they are going to start letting people trade options. And here's this article right here. So it says SoFi is preparing to roll out options trading. It could be a big deal. The key points: options are more profitable for online brokerages that do payment for order flow because they tend to have larger bid-ask spreads. Options trading may also draw more members to the SoFi Invest product. SoFi Invest is a key part of bringing members onto the SoFi flywheel. In SoFi Technology's most recent earnings call, CFO Chris Lapointe said the company's online brokerage would soon roll out options trading, which will give investors the right to buy or sell a stock at a certain price by a certain date. SoFi is a company with lots of financial products, including loans, cash management accounts, personal budgeting tools, and more. Because of that diversity of offerings, it might not seem like it, but this feature within the SoFi Invest brokerage could be a big deal. Let me explain. And he goes on to say the power of options, how you can potentially make a lot of money. I do like to trade a lot of options. We do very well. I have a trading community. If you guys want to be a part of that, I will link that down below in the pinned comment, but I don't like to promote that as much just because we are a core group of traders over there, and it's not for everybody. But you can hit wild trades with options. That's where the attraction comes in. Like I had the Facebook puts. That was $60 into $3,000 per contract. A lot of people hit that really big. And that's just one example of many. So that's where the appeal comes from. And a lot of these startup companies in the brokerage platform space, like think about Public. If you guys are not signed up with them, that is a link down below in the description. Definitely do so. You will get yourself some free stock, but they do not allow options. So it's not a huge incentive to go trade with Public brokerages that do not allow options, because that is what people like to do regardless of your stance on them. They are a cash cow. It makes Robinhood over half of their total income because of that bid and ask spread, and it does encourage more people to join the platform. So it's really a big deal as far as revenue and getting new users onto SoFi. And that's what investors really care about, is getting new users to SoFi. And those new users that SoFi will acquire by allowing options trading will inevitably, more than likely, get either a car loan, home loans, refinance student loans, or maybe all three of those, because SoFi is well known for cross-selling their different products to the same user. So I think it's a big deal. I don't think a lot of people have fully realized this yet, and I think eventually they will. I think it will be reflected in the share price of SoFi, even considering this. Robinhood, right? Robinhood. They have about 20 million active users. They have been dropping ever since the GameStop AMC situation, but they are only a brokerage. So if SoFi could gain a lot of momentum in that aspect, you could be looking at higher than 35% growth rate for SoFi in the next 5 years, like the management has projected. You could see 50 or 100% growth rate if you do see a lot of people signing up for SoFi Invest. And these things kind of go in waves. Like after 2020, bunch of people got in the markets. After 2021, the GameStop AMC situation, more people got into the market. So inevitably, you will see that round of new people coming back into the markets. And if SoFi can acquire as many of those new people as possible, that's where you're going to really see SoFi shine as a business, a brokerage, and all of that. So very exciting. I did want to go over that with you guys. We're not going to get into all of this too much. I will link this down below in the description of this video, though, if you guys do want to check it out for yourselves. Something else that did catch my eye. It says the new SoFi checking and savings offers 1% APY, a $100 bonus, and no fees. And it says that account holders who set up direct deposit can earn 1% annual percentage yield APY on up to $50,000 in balances after 0.05%, a rate that is over 30 times the national average interest rate on balances. So all in all, these two things are great to see, and it shows a lot about the business of SoFi and specifically the management and how they are trying to create new attractive products to drive growth and to drive new users to the business. That's one of the biggest reasons I'm so bullish on SoFi, is because with the leadership and the management that SoFi has, Anthony Noto, he's obviously well known in the investment community, in the management field of different businesses. You can do a lot with a business like SoFi. They could do a lot of damage. They could be a $50-100 billion company in the next 5 to 10 years. You'd make a lot of money, and that's exactly what I expect, but it's something you just have to be a little bit patient for. As far as SoFi specific data, like I said, we had 5 orders totaling $750,000 on Friday with a positive order value of 71%. Over the past week, SoFi stock has went down, pretty much stayed around $10 per share. But you did see 110 orders totaling $89.16 million with a positive order value of 56%. And you are seeing, like right here, $12.50 call for $29,000 for July 15th, a 2024 $15 call for $57,000, a $20 call for January 2023 for $265,000. So you're seeing a lot of calls being placed out of the money. Some of those a couple of days ago were expiring by March 18th, by May, by even June. Some of these ones a little bit longer dated, and it's unfortunate that it won't let you go past the previous day of trading. I can't look at the past week, but I have brought that to you guys in other videos. So go ahead, watch those other ones if you guys do want to compare the numbers here. But either way, still a good sign. As far as the short interest, that is 16.14%. Current shares that are sold short of 116.49 million. Cost to borrow max of 8.6%. And the utilization is at 100%. So that is very bullish. The fact that institutions or hedge funds that have long SoFi stock, they could lend out their stock for 8.6% and collect that basically risk-free, but they're not doing that. The utilization is still 100, so they're not lending out any stock to be sold short. So that's very, very bullish. I want to see what this cost to borrow max does do, if it continues to go up, and if the utilization does inevitably come down. Days to cover is at 3.10, so it's also hard for shorts to get out of their short positions when in fact they eventually do cover. So looking good there as well. As far as some of the other good news and the trade that I really want to talk to you guys about, it is the oil trade. Now, keep in mind, this is not financial advice. I'm definitely not advocating for you guys to trade what I trade. I think it could be really good, but there is always going to be some risk when you're dealing with options. I do have a BP $35 call for April 14th. I bought 15 of them. I'm up about 9%, about $25. I bought in at $18 a piece. Now, why I like this trade is because these contracts were just going for over $100 back here. And BP has actually made big moves up, big moves down. It's very volatile, but it's lagging behind a lot of the other oil stocks. It's went down. They had, I guess, a bad investment in Russia, but it's not a hugely big deal. It does not justify a move from $33 down to 28 when the whole time oil is almost at all-time highs. So it's going to correct itself. And if you do see, I actually already did make a trade on BP, and this is another reason why I really like to double dip on this one. I did buy 5 BP April 14th, $33 calls. You can see right here, I bought 5 of them for $180 for 36 cents a piece, $36 a piece. Sold 3 at $75 a piece. Collected $225, so I made $45 off of this trade, but I did get to keep 2 of those contracts for free to ride them out. And like I said, I collected $45 as profit. So worst case scenario, I make $45 on this if BP does not go to $33 by April 14th. But why I'm specifically so excited for this is because I don't think we have seen the biggest move in oil yet. I think that really happens when the US sanctions oil or puts some kind of export controls on oil, which they have not done, and they have said they are not going to do. But Jen Psaki on Friday, she did say that there's a lot of bipartisan support now to sanction Russian oil, and that is something they are looking into. But at the same time, they wanted to offset this, less supply of oil from Russia, potentially with sanctions, with the Iran nuclear deal. And we had a meeting today on that, and it says Moscow seeks U.S. guarantees before backing Iran nuclear deal. And if you guys are unaware of this Iran nuclear deal, without getting into the nuclear side of this deal, it's basically going to take off the U.S. oil sanctions on Iran and let them produce more oil. They said in about 2 months, they could go from their current 1.5 million barrels of oil per day drilled to about 3 million barrels per day. So that would flood the markets, bringing the oil price down. But I made a calculated bet that this was not going to go through, and it's confirmed it's not going to go through as of right now. It says it would have been, and I should say, this is Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, and he is actually one of the people that did get sanctioned. And it says that Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said Friday that Moscow is demanding guarantees from the U.S. before backing the Iran nuclear deal, citing the current wave of Western sanctions against Russia. Quote, "It would have all been fine, but that avalanche of aggressive sanctions that have erupted from the West, and which I understand has not yet stopped, demand additional understanding by lawyers above all." And it does go on to say down here, there are several topics which our Iranian colleagues want more clarity on, and we consider those a fair demand. And it says, we have asked for a written guarantee that the current process triggered by the United States does not in any way damage our right to free and full trade, economic and investment cooperation, and military technical cooperation with the Islamic Republic. So they're basically saying, and you can see right here, it says, we want an answer, a very clear answer. We need a guarantee that these sanctions will not in any way touch the regimen of trade, economic, and investment relations with which is laid down in the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action. So it's not going to go through. And it looks like there's a lot of pressure, to Washington to basically sanction Russian oil. So when that happens, you're going to see the price of oil go crazy, and it's going to affect all of these stocks, and I think there's a really good trade here. But like I said, not financial advice. Do what you guys want to do with that information. I hope you guys learned something out of this video. If you did, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. But actually, before we do wrap up the video, let's take a look at SoFi Technicals, and it's pretty straightforward. We closed at $10 per share. So you're sitting on that support level. Nothing too crazy there. I think you'll probably bounce off of this on Monday. If we don't, we might go under it a little bit. And like we've seen back here, we're not going to stay under 10 for a substantial amount of time. Earnings were good, and there's no reason to still sell SoFi stock short or to sell out at this current moment. So I do think inevitably we will see that bounce. And if we do, you're likely to bounce back up and retest this level at about 11.17. This 13-day moving average, we have found a lot of resistance at over the past couple of months, really, ever since pretty much November. So that's basically that. Volume's still good. MACD is a little confused, and the RSI is... Let's pull up the RSI. Where's the RSI? RSI oversold substantially. The middle neutral is around 50, and we are at 38.70. So RSI substantially oversold, as well as the BP trade. If you are interested, we are in this ascending wedge right here. And that is inevitably a bullish sign. Taking the bottoms and the tops and drawing this wedge, we are going up. And we are also right at this lower end level, and we are also hitting our 200-day moving average, which we did bounce off of on Friday. So I think that does constitute a pretty nice bounce to the upside, and that's what I am going to be paying attention to. I think it's a perfect technical setup. I think everything makes sense for this trade, and you can actually, take these lines back if you really wanted to. And it's pretty obvious to see. It's a pretty straightforward chart and a technical outlook, as well as a fundamental outlook. So thank you guys for watching. That's going to be all for this video. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you guys have not already, and get yourself some free stocks. Links down below in the description for Webull, Moomoo, and Public. Webull and Moomoo, deposit $100, get 5 free stocks with those trading brokerages. By all means, take advantage of free money. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will see you in the next one.